I'm Jason Goliath.
And I'm Nicholas Goliath.
And this is a new podcast called The Happiness Economy, where we try and unpack, figure out, investigate, interrogate, I think holistically understand what is happiness even.
What is it to you? What is it to me? Is it different? Is it the same? What do you do to chase your happiness? Just chase it. We want to chat to people who we believe have found their happiness or are on the way to finding their happiness and find out what it is that makes them happy.
So, if you're happy, we're happy. The Happiness Economy with Nicholas and Jason Goliath. Tell her what you must. Welcome back to another episode of The Happiness Economy. Today, an extra special guest. And by extra special guest, I mean one of Kate Goliath's favorite. And you know, when Kate gives us an instruction, what do? What she says.
Also my favorite. I'll accept. Lindy's one of my favorites. Thank you.
Please welcome the great comedian, Lindy Johnson.
Thank you. So grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Grateful and accepting
and perspectorizing.
Yes, perspectorized.
Yeah, nice.
I am extremely perspectorized to be here.
Nice. I'm glad you prepared your perspectoration, and are able to acceptate with our gratification.
Yes,
Yeah.
gratification.
Yeah.
Lovely. All of us speak English.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the accent.
But you know what we're saying. You understand what we're saying. That's all that matters, basically.
Very true.
So-
and you don't have to repeat anything we say back in our accents, which is something people do a lot.
Yeah.
South African people do that
They
often
do.
when they... Like, I'll say, hello, good afternoon, how are you? Awe massacred. Where did that come from? Bongani.
No,
You don't speak like that.
I think that's wonderful, and I encourage people to continue leaning in and appropriately using the word awe.
Aware, yes. But aware can come in your accent.
Yeah,
Doesn't need
it's
to
the
be
same thing. It
my
sounds the
accent.
same when you say it in your...
And also-
Bryanston
I just want
accent.
you to know that Bongani, I forgive you.
I know.
And I accept you, Masakant. I accept you.
And we know it's not Bongani.
So
We know it's Jono.
no, it's bongs, bro. It's bongs. It's bongs, bro.
They've gotten a lot better, I will say, especially with the touching hair business.
Yes.
The Johnners and the Sharons, they don't touch your hair anymore to
They've
see.
never touched mine, eh?
You have
You've
to
never
have.
touched yours. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
natural head?
Okay, this is not a political podcast. The basics, Lindy Johnson, as quickly as we can. You know the thing you've watched the episodes.
Yep, boys.
So we invite people who we perceive to be happy, or based on the slither of their life that we see on social media. Here we try and interrogate that happiness. It is a bit more technical when we know the person and the journey, which is why we're extra excited that you said yes. We speak about gratitude, acceptance, perspective, or filling the gap.
Yeah.
We speak about the fact that through the journey so far, we've learned that happiness doesn't exist the way we all expect it to exist, but it more seems to exist in the now, in the moment, rather than something that you are...
That you achieve
100%,
and have.
yeah, or that
Yeah.
you're gonna one day just arrive at this sense of happiness. It's more just about finding your gratitude, adjusting your perspective, and having a deep sense of acceptance in where you are, who you are, and what you are.
It's so weird to have this conversation with Nicholas here, because like we have this chat almost weekly. This is what's making me happy. This is what I want to do. This is why I'm feeling sad. Like, it's so weird to have a conversation on a podcast with Nicholas here, because now I can't lie.
Yes,
and be
because
like,
he knows the truth.
Yeah, I'm naturally joyful.
Boys, I'm bubbly.
I'm never sad. Who's there?
No,
So now I
but
can't
also
lie.
it means that I also can't lie, because you also know my stories and my...
And
so yes.
all I hear is that that's exactly what it is. Like, for me, once you switch on to this type of mindset, it's going to come out in circles where you're comfortable, and you will find your happiness tribe, like people who get it. And people that also understand that when you say, I want to talk about happiness, doesn't mean that you're this stereotypically bubbly person, a hippie. We always say that pretends that nothing is wrong. I never get sad. No, that's not it at all. It's about finding people that you can share that truth with, and people that are not going to hold that against you, and help you learn from your own lessons, journey, and perspective. So we start
So being realistic about it though, so
Yes.
because this is junk, the actual economy is junk, you know,
Yeah.
the world is in disarray,
Oh
there's
my
war.
gosh.
The world is
Like we
broken.
can figure all the things that are bad, and it's so easy,
Yes.
but it's also so rewarding, and there's a bit of hard work in looking past that and going, okay, I see that, I acknowledge that, I'm doing this and this and this to help that, but also this is where I'm happy. I'm going to go find that thing that makes me forget that
Yeah.
this world should probably burn.
Yeah. Well, it's burning.
Oh,
It's
Sad.
burning slowly. but
especially
surely.
today. It's like 30 degrees today. I feel like I'm back in Paarl. Anyway.
I was about to speak about Paarl. So you originally from Paarl. You now are in the big city. You've been in the big city for a number of years.
6 years.
And I say that because
And killing it.
I often when I spend time with you, I'm reminded of that, of the fact that you
That I'm
had a
from Paarl.
journey. No, just the fact that I'm reminded.
Yeah.
I'm reminded
Every time
that
I
you
speak to a plus, I
from
can hear it.
Paarl. No, it's because my wife is from Paarl. Then obviously I smoked the plus. So therefore you're in the circle. You know what I mean? The more barefoot, the better. You know what I mean? My wife's not barefoot in the kitchen. She's barefoot in the veld. You know what I mean? It's
To its own sexy boy.
it is. I also like that Paarl girls think rugby players are sexy, not soccer players. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's a great advantage. So perception-wise, we've kind of watched your journey. Paarl, Cape Town, Joburg, a loner but not a loner. Somebody who always seems to have another thought bubbling under the surface. Like I've learned to not take you at face value. Like I've learned to give it time. And I think that we exist in a space where a lot of us are trained to put on a mask, put on a face, show a certain perspective all the time. And then it's only when you spend time with you and that you realize that, you know, what a layered individual, how many layers there actually are, and what a complex person. So let's get into that complexity. What does gratitude mean to Lindy Johnson?
Gratitude to me means, yes, you need to count your blessings. It's that Sunday school song,
Yeah.
count your blessings one by one, and then you'll find how much you overflow.
Yes.
So that's how I start my morning. First with counting my blessings, and then with Al Jazeera, just for balance.
Just so that
I
honest,
know
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
I have, and then I can see what other people don't. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to count those blessings again after
Yeah.
Al Jazeera, because that's what you need to do, just to be in the world as well. Because I find I need to know what's happening at all times, and it's so demoralizing
Yes,
to know
yeah.
what's happening.
Terrible.
To be informed
terrible.
is so it weakens your spirit.
That's where the saying ignorance is bliss comes from.
Oh,
Can I
it's
tell
so
you, I
blissful.
don't watch news. I don't listen to the
I envy
news.
you so much.
I stay away from anything because it's so demoralizing.
I remember being on Kaya and having to be part of the news every single day. And then I remember stopping Kaya, and one of the best things about coming off radio was exactly that I didn't have to know what was going on Earth every single day.
Yeah.
And then I was able to rather go, let me know about what I can control. Let me
Yes.
know about the things that impact me and how I can have an impact, instead of, because I find it so easy to worry about everything.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to put your own stuff on the back burner and be lazy for your own stuff.
Yes.
And rather focus on, crisis wherever, where you
Yes.
really have no
Because
impact.
then it's like, what's the point? Why am I
Yes.
this urgent copyright thing that I need to? This advert needs my jokes. It's not urgent, bro. The
No.
world is burning.
Yeah.
You know, Botswana lost the race party, the leading party lost. You know, what's the point? The world is burning anyway. Why do I care? That was such a weak example with Botswana. 'Cause
No,
that
that's
was a good
great.
thing. But
No, but
still,
also
That's
that
the
was
first-
the first thing on my mind right now.
Because that's what's happening on Al Jazeera right now.
Al Jazeera is
They
the
talk
first
about
time they spoke
Botswana,
about
bruh.
Botswana in the history of Al Jazeera.
They got
This
their
is the
first
first time we
shout
spoke
out.
about Al Jazeera on the history of the happiness economy. Because we know that they provide no happiness
Yeah,
when it
there's
comes to the
nothing
world.
Not
there.
what they sell. That's not what they sell. So I like that. Old school, Sunday school, And I think a lot of us have heard so many of those sayings, so many of those lessons. We sang those songs, but we learned the words, not the application or not the meaning. Like, that count too many blessings, count them one by one was something that I learned as the words to a song. And yes, kind of you understand it out there, but the actual application every single day of being focused on, I'm blessed because.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask, is that a thing that you've, like, how long is that a thing that you've been doing, counting your blessings and just showing your gratitude or trying to focus
you
on
guys know I grew up in a very religious, my dad was a pastor, so
Yeah.
Let's bring the mic closer so he can hear you, all your words that you're saying.
it? The Lord is always listening.
Yeah.
My father wasn't listening.
Sorry, Daddy.
I don't give a God, believe.
I ain't scared of God. I'm scared of my dad.
Well, my dad was a pastor, so like, I was just thinking when you say there's always a thought bubbling underneath the surface. For me, paying attention to the news, paying attention to what's going on in the world, it's a bit of vanity. That's what makes me happy. I realize that about myself.
Yes.
Very superficial things, vanity and money drive me. I need to have money. I need to look a certain way. And for me, my vanity comes from being smart or perceived as smart.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I'm paying attention to all these things because I don't know why I have this anxiety that someone will ask me, hey, Lindy, do you know what's happening in Sudan? And I'm like, what? I didn't. What happened? What? I don't know anything. And then they're like, yeah, you dummy. All you care about is Paarl. Like, I don't. That's like my anxiety. So that's why I pay attention to every. I'm so sorry. I forgot what the question was. It was, when did I start saying? So it's been like my whole life. You grow up in a religious household, and I'm so grateful for my specific religious household because my parents, they're not about the church, they're about Jesus. So they never cared about, the people are saying Lindy's doing this, Lindy, your children are like that. My parents don't care. My parents are you good people? Are you trying your best every day? Are you making good decisions for yourself and your future? Those are the kind of things that they instilled in us, and I'm so grateful for that because I still like my religion. Because there's so many people who grew up in the church who hate church.
I think that there's a difference and a distinction that people don't make. For me, there's a very big difference between religion and the church in a lot of instances.
Massive.
And I
In religion and the institution, not necessarily the church.
No,
the
but that's what I mean.
Whatever. Yeah.
The institution makes people and money God instead of God. Like I keep saying to Shan, I don't want to be in circles where money is God. Then she goes, what does that mean? Then I go, you look at Puff Daddy parties. Everybody who went to one of those parties, money is God.
No, we had a conversation.
Like I can't explain it better than that. You and Nick had a conversation about missing the parties, about oil, about...
No, just about if you were invited to a P. Diddy party, but then you got offered, 50 million to go to the party. What would you do?
I can see you bathing in oil because you already told us you like money.
We were talking.
But the thing is, not like that. Not at the cost of
Baby oil.
Yes. You're just sliding across the floor. You know what I mean?
Like this.
Not like that because for me, the P. Diddy and going, the baddies who go to Dubai, it's the same thing. You are losing your dignity there. It's not okay, cool, let's just quickly go, after a date, we can hook up and then you can go back. They are degrading you.
Absolutely.
They are taking and I'm like, I love money, but I love not having someone number 2 on my face. That's something I love just a bit more than money.
The only thing I love more than money is not having number 2 in my pet
on
like
the face.
Like, that's really important to me. I don't know if my parents instilled that in me or my education.
I'm sure your parents said, don't take anyone's cock in life.
Like, when they told me, lick your lips, you're talking cack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't taste liquor.
That's not good. Salty.
It's dry.
Salty.
I don't want that.
Depends. Mine hasn't been dry in years. Acceptance is the one that I'm most excited to chat to you about.
Yeah.
And that's only
That's
because
everyone. Jokes are gonna stop you.
We've been friends and in the same circle for a long enough time for us to have witnessed a number of seasons of Lindy. different versions of you. You've been on a body transformation.
Thank you so much for I love when other people bring it up first.
Yes.
I hate being the one to bring up my weight
No,
loss.
I'm
Because I'm like the Herbalife
being-
head. Do you know
being
how I
on
did
it.
this?
So allow me, the person who's most inspired by your journey, to bring it up. So, in terms of acceptance and accepting you, who you are, what you are, why you are, talk us through a bit of the journey that you've been on in terms of what you've been conscious of over the last couple of years.
So, this is actually the part where I prepared last night for the podcast, where I was just like accepting that my happiness relies on hard work sometimes and doing the stuff that I don't want to do.
Yes.
And gym is such a perfect example of that in my life because I didn't want to go gym. It's not lickety. It's hard and I'm sweaty and it's hot and people stink and guys still talk to you. They're not as scared as they want to make you feel on social media. They're like, oh, you can't talk to women anymore. But julle praat nog. Like, one way, nobody stopped. Anyway, so like going there isn't the best, but I kept going because I was like, I'm not happy with my body. I'm not happy with when I walk next to someone in the mall, I'm breathing so loud. I can't hear what they're saying. I don't want to be this person anymore who sweats and I'm 2 minutes on stage. And my jokes, none of it requires me. You guys know my sets.
Yeah.
Like, none
No
of it
physical-
requires. I'm standing straight.
Yeah.
There's
Not
no-
moving.
Not moving anyway.
Is that one where you turn and look back?
I stopped that one even.
That was too much. Yes.
My hair was moving too much. I was like, nah, this is way. So I was like, I don't want to be this person anymore. And it takes a lot of hard work. And then as soon as I accepted the hard work and I formed the habit of going to gym, because now there are days where it's my rest day, I don't need to be anywhere. I'm like, let me just go for a swim. Let me go for a hike. Now my body requires this. And it's the same with comedy. And I've started being more in the writing space than I am in the stand-up comedy space because it's always been my dream. It was first my dream to be
A
a comedy writer, growing up at school because that's the only thing I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was possible to be a stand-up comedian in South Africa. I didn't know. The people I saw out and about was Anele, my daughter, and she was an MC and she's brilliant at it.
Unbelievable.
But it's not stand-up, so I was like, I can't do that. I can tell jokes, but I can't do that. And then at university level, then I was like, oh, Rob van Vieren came to my school, Keij Mugari was there at Stellenbosch University, they were performing. I was like,
can do this.
what? This is real and it's fire and I love it. So writing was my first love and I went back to it because I got the opportunities and they just kept flowing in. But it's so hard being new. It's so difficult not knowing what's going on and not knowing how to adjust to this new world. Because stand-up comedy, I know, most of the comedians I know, we fell into this thing. You accidentally, your friends were like, no, bro, let's do it.
try
You must
it.
Yeah.
Go try it. And
You funny. You funny.
and you fall into it and your first gig is amazing or it's not, but you catch the
bug.
that thing. I always picture that from that chicken advert.
The monkey on your back.
Yes, the
yeah,
monkey.
Chicken licking monkey on your back.
Bro, I don't want to name names, but
Now we're looking for
No.
sponsors out here. And we
chicken
smart hot
licken.
drinks.
Yes, that orangutan that's on your back that most comedians we always have that
It's a
thing.
disease.
It is a disease. So once you started, I don't know, for me it was just mindless. I just went to gigs, I started doing well, I got more gigs, started getting paid well, and things just flowed. In writing, things don't happen like that.
No.
Yeah.
So now I'm learning, these past 2 years have been so difficult for me because I'm learning acceptance, because I want to be a certain place, but it takes time. All the people I look up to, they weren't crushing it at 25
day
years
one,
old.
yeah.
They were Tina Fey, Mindy Kaling. They were roughing it in really harsh conditions around men who are a lot less nicer than the men I'm around. So I just need to accept that this is going to take a bit of time. It's going to be a little bit shitty for a while. And that's okay because the goal is worth it. And I'm progressing so slowly.
But can
there's
we talk about
progress.
the fact that you have now answered, you prepared?
No.
we can see you wrote the
She's
speech
prepared, but
down.
then she's also dodged the questions. So I like that you've spoken about the difficulty of accepting the journey of becoming a comedian, becoming a comedic writer, what those drawbacks were, how many times you've had to say to yourself, things like, because I know I've said it to myself, so I know you've said it to yourself, was like, why do I keep expecting myself to know things that I don't know yet? So how can I expect myself to be an incredible writer when I haven't become an incredible writer yet? When I, you know what I mean?
Sky's written.
It's yes. So it's but I want to speak about the physical part and how your physical transformation has aided you in the other areas, because I believe that when you find yourself attractive, your confidence makes everything you attempt easier.
Bro.
And I feel like I witnessed you go through that journey, because I once complimented you, and I'm not sure if you remember this, but I once complimented you. And you know, when you compliment someone and you feel a deep sense of awkward, they make it awkward now, like you said something inappropriate. So I remember we were hardly friends. You were new. You just moved to Joburg, I think, settling in. And I said to you, man, I find your stuff, like your tweets and stuff, so funny, but I feel like the magic is your face. The world needs to see this gorgeous, amazing face of yours. And you looked at me as if I was saying something terribly offside.
Yes.
Because this is someone who just admitted now they wanted to be a writer. Now you're like, I must show your face.
No, but it's also, I couldn't imagine. I know, like, I don't remember, but I know myself well enough to know that
you made it so awkward.
That
I never spoke to you for like 3 months after that.
I would have been like, Jason, if I knew you better, I would have been like, insane. Nobody wants to see my face. That's crazy. I think that's the feeling I had, and it's so embarrassing to admit that I felt so little about myself. And like, I don't know, I talk to you a lot about my dating life with Nicholas sometimes, and like, it's such a reflection. The men I date, it's such a reflection of how I felt about myself. And I was dating so much more when I had no confidence. Because now that I have confidence and I think I'm good looking, I'm like, you don't deserve to be a boychi. You need
And that's
to go
how
home.
it should be. Yeah.
And now I'm so alone. But like,
I'm beautiful and alone now.
I have a mirror. That's what keeps me company. But it's so embarrassing to admit that, like, I couldn't. And Carvin is also, because I listened to his podcast, I told you guys earlier. Carvin's also one of the guys who's like, people want to see you.
Yes.
And like, it's everything about you, your voice, the way you look, you make people happy and comfortable. And like, there's a joy in your face. And I'm just like, this uncle just want to talk to me. Like,
That's how you made me feel, like a dirty uncle. Like, I was like, I'm not hitting on you. I promise you, I'm not trying to hit on you. I'm just trying to go that your face is gold. Give them your face.
But you know, in my head, how I perceive that, and this is how messed up low self-esteem is, how I perceive that is like, shame this guy. I feel so sorry for me. He feels like throwing me a compliment. Hey, you're not that cuck looking.
Anybody who knows me
You
knows.
see, that's very
don't
much
care
a
enough about you.
societal issue. Like that's because you feel like you say, even now you're saying you're so embarrassed to admit it, and there's nothing embarrassing about it. It's that's how you felt.
But it's also, if you look at the way things are marketed, especially at my age, because I'm 30 years old, and what I grew up with, I grew up a lot of magazines, Heat, Cosmo. That was my Friday night.
FHM.
Bro,
Yeah.
oh no.
No, I'm saying
Those
that
are your ones, yeah.
No, but I'm saying that FHM thing destroyed a lot of women that I know's confidence.
Really?
Because FHM only celebrated a certain type of woman.
I had
So there was
Heat
that
magazine,
FHM lists that people got famous off back in the day, like Jeannie D was a FHM
Liebenberg or so.
Discover,
Yeah.
Liebenberg.
A lot of them,
So
yeah.
then
Those
it's like for me, those things portrayed a very specific. I always say on stage, I'm sick and tired of the world thinking sexy looks like a specific thing.
Bro.
Like, you know what I mean? If you don't have the six pack, the C cup,
But
the
it's
whatever.
so, like, it's crazy because that's not how the real world
No.
works. No one has ever, I've never had a problem finding dates or a woman. And when I go to a girl's bathroom, it's, oh, you look so gorgeous. And the compliments are sincere. The men who approach me, they're very happy with what's going on. But if I had the magazine style, because I grew up with, Heat magazine, and they were circling Britney Spears, who was already a size 0, and they were circling her thighs, cellulite, and like exploding it, and all the things that are being marketed. Even now, you watch TikTok, and I mean, that's probably my algorithm, but like every second video is, you need this serum, you need retinol, if you're not using sunscreen.
You know how tired I am of the ad that says calisthenic workouts will change your midsection. I'm like,
Pilates.
why is this on my timeline?
Whoa.
Fuck.
I don't want to do
Leave
wall
me.
Pilates.
Leave me.
my walls alone.
Leave me. Talk about that confidence. Tell me about, so I agree that, like, I know for myself, for example, I've always been a big guy, and then Nico backed me up. I go through phases where, like, I'll have a limit. I'll put on weight after Christmas, beginning of the year, until I get to a point that I'm uncomfortable. So it for years doesn't matter about the way I look. But the second I feel too uncomfortable, like you spoke about the heavy breathing when you're walking past a friend, I get to that point where I'm breathing a bit heavy and I just went up one flight of stairs, or I'm really struggling to tie my shoelaces, which is a struggle that thin people know nothing about in life. Abuti Lolo actually made me upset when he did that joke about thin people don't respect us. If you see me in the mall, don't come up to me and say things like, your shoelace is untied. You are creating a problem that you can't understand.
It's not your
That
business.
was find a bench with my foot on.
Yes, yes. Oh, my whole crack has to be exposed. It's not as easy for me. So then I've got that kind of barometer where I get to a certain point and then I go, okay, cool, no carbs, no sugar for a little bit, just to get back to feeling comfortable is where it's been. But I do think that physically, because a lot of us were conditioned by that old school thinking of Heat magazine, we judge ourselves unnecessarily. You lost 2 kilos and I saw you looking at yourself differently. Like, there was the dramatic fall off, but I felt it in the way you carried yourself. I felt it in the way you presented yourself into a room. Was there a moment where all of a sudden you felt a new confidence, a new feeling, a new sensation about yourself that you weren't used to?
You know that 2 kilos to lose took like 6 months in the gym.
Yeah, that first 2 is the hardest 2.
Bro, that
That first 2.
it was so difficult, and I was so proud of myself for going every day, and I got my confidence with such random places. Like, I'd get to the gym and the lady at the desk would greet me by my name and I'd be like, she knows what
That's what I'm here for.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a
I'm
a
regular.
chummer now.
Yeah.
I'm
gym
part
person.
of this world, you know.
I know
and-
where they
Johnson.
keep the weights.
I know where the nice sanitizer is. It doesn't smell. You know, that's the confidence it gave me, and going out more and being outside and realizing it doesn't matter. It was all in my head.
Yes.
And even losing that 2 kilograms, made me realize it was me putting myself in a corner. And Nicholas knows this so well about myself, because if I don't feel well, if I don't feel confident, I will isolate like nobody's business.
Which is the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
Because then
It's
you're
so-
left in your head.
Just jump
and
on
you
yourself
lose
into the whirlpool.
perspective. That P is so
Yes.
important. Because you lose perspective. I'm in my flat thinking I'm the cackest person. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
yeah.
I'm the cackest person. I'm the fattest person. Nobody in Joburg wants me. And it's just not true.
Yeah.
Because I've been blessed with, when it comes to family and friends, I'm like God's favorite.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't play at all.
Yeah.
Like, when it came to money and success, he's a bit just slow. But
You 30, calm down. Sit down. Even God is saying, you 30. Sit down. Sit down. I needed to teach you
bro,
to love
that's
yourself
another
first.
P that I keep
can we talk
forgetting.
about the fact that many people have tried to move from Cape Town or from outside of Joburg to come and do comedy and chase their dreams, and a lot of them have failed. A lot of people.
Yeah, there's a
You
few
have
that
stuck
there's
it
a
out.
few that work in call centers. You spoke to them this week.
Yeah, and you stuck it out, and not only did you stick it out, but you are killing the game. Like, whenever people ask me about female comedians, you are up there with Celeste. You, Celeste, to me, because you are one of those people who, you don't talk about the fact that you're a woman in a male-dominated industry. You get on stage and you do comedy. And that, for me, is a sign of your confidence, of your ability. And that's why it blows my mind when I hear about how you have this anxiety or your uncertainty, and how, like, you sit in your room by yourself believing that, oh no, I'm not funny. People don't want to be my friend anymore because I'm not funny. No, bullshit, Lindy. You are hilarious.
Do you know how many times I've sent Nicholas a message? Are you mad at me? Are we still friends? Because I'm like, I haven't done anything in so long. He must think it's a lust to be friends with me. Let me just end the friendship. Let him set him free.
Let me just let him go.
Yeah.
Let me cut him loose.
Yeah.
Let me just cut him loose.
This is why I need to leave the house much more. And the perspective is so crazy, because 30 is nothing. I didn't realize that until I turned 30.
Do you know
when
that I
was in my
started
20s.
comedy at 30?
Really?
I was your age when I did comedy for the first
There's
time.
so many people who started comedy 29, 30. I started when I was 21.
I was 27.
Yo.
No, I'm jealous. I'm jealous and not jealous.
Yeah.
So I'm jealous because I at 30 was very jealous of those that had started at 21 because I was the old guy. We're hanging out with 21-year-olds. And then in retrospect, I would never have done the things that I was able to do if I didn't have that life experience.
But also the confidence that
failure.
comes with 30 and like
Yeah.
the knowledge and the wisdom to be like, because
Different.
when I was 21 performing, you know, open mic, armchair,
Yeah.
if I don't kill, I'm gonna die.
It's the end of the
Oh
world.
my God, Gino's never gonna book me again.
You know, and Gino was the most
Gino,
important person in
he
your
runs
life.
the Cape Town scene. You know? It was such a
Yeah.
big deal. But
Yeah.
now I'm 30, I'm like, this is just, you know, a restaurant in Parkers. You know, I'm gonna do my best. But if something happens, I'm still a comedian tomorrow. I'm not gonna stop. Nothing is gonna stop me now, which is crazy to think that I'm here now and this is my life. Oh, that is a nice acceptance.
So doesn't
one.
it blow your mind to have that realization and understanding that a lot of the things that you thought were issues and problems and situations were actually just all in your mind. Things that you were self-actualizing and creating your own issues.
Like, on the one hand, I do understand that it's not good, but on the other hand, that was really important to me at the time.
Yes.
That was really nerve-wracking to me at the time. And although it's not healthy, but it really helps me push. That anxiety, and I know I should like get rid of it or whatever, but that anxiety helps me push like nobody else, because now, and I never take a pause really to think, oh, I did this.
Yeah.
Other people tell me from the outside, yo, you did a great thing, and yo, you're killing it. That's news to me. I didn't know that was happening. I just do my things and I push so hard because of the anxiety that I never stay and be like, oh, I just completed this. And no other woman in the country
think
is
that's a
doing
gift.
this thing. It is a massive.
I think it's a gift.
hard for me to look at it negatively
Yeah.
when I'm doing so well.
And
So
because
the only
I,
negative thing for me is that isolating.
Yeah.
Like, and,
I am
and
working
only
on that,
because
Nicholas.
I've spoken to you during those times, and I understand where your mind is at, and like it I don't want to say it saddens me, but it makes me go, you have no idea what you're working with, the potential, the ability that you have, and then like, because that's where you lose your mind, is being by yourself, because now you're stuck between yourself and social media.
Bro, and social
The
media.
worst.
Oh, that's a killer. To the self-esteem. Because everyone I know overseas getting engaged or getting a dog. And the getting the dog one isn't as important, but I really want a puppy, man.
Get a puppy.
I
Get a
can't get
puppy.
a puppy in the complexes I live in. So then I'm just like, okay, cool. That's a goal I must work towards. But like, if social media had to tell you, everybody's better than you, everyone's doing
And they
well.
tell you that every day, the whole day.
There's no one who, you know what I mean? Like, there's no one just going to the shop to buy a loaf of bread and milk.
You know, but what you start
And
realizing
having to
at
count the
30.
coin. How much?
Bruh.
How much is the bread and milk?
It was 16 yesterday, you talking cat.
So when
No, these people come in our country. You said
the gift of turning 30, I think is realizing how little actually matters, and realizing that you can apply or you can give power to things that demand power. Not because I would give my power to useless things. I would be worried about the opinions of useless people. And when I say that, I say people that are not contributing to my life. And this has come up a lot, was that old thing of, I also took the opinions of people who are doing less than me. Like
Yeah.
you learn that people who are doing more than you are never going to criticize what you're doing.
Yes.
People who are doing more than you are always going to compliment, no matter how little or much you try, they're going to give you credit. People who are doing less than you are always going to find problems, always going to find that something isn't right. And then one of the
And
gifts
they're
of...
not going to understand.
No.
They don't understand this. And
Because
I
they
don't
don't
mean to
wanna
sound like an
understand.
asshole, but like, it's a different league. I'm fighting a different beast here. You don't, if you're working in an office,
You don't understand.
I'm proud of you. I'm very happy you got the picanto paid off, but geez, I'm operating in a completely different league. My goals are so insane, but I know I'm capable of it. Like, you don't,
And
we're
that's
not
all that
getting these
matters.
goals
Yeah.
together. I didn't ask anybody's help. I asked me. You don't have to. And you don't understand, which is fine.
You know, it's such a big thing for me to to
I
understand.
didn't make it sound like Picanto's a bad call.
No, you
or
said what you
something.
said.
No, you
You
said
said what you said. Also, I can back her up. If you're driving Picanto, it's because
But I'm
you make
driving
decisions.
Uber. That's, I can't really talk a lot of nonsense. I'm in the streets. Krista, please. I
didn't even know this is Krista.
I didn't know either.
What does this say about
This is
the
Krista,
Ozone
please.
Krista?
Please.
That's why I'm single. But like, I'm
So
it's
Krista
a
and
different
Paul.
thing.
It's I like it. I like
it's
it.
more-
Paul.
it's a Paarl.
It's a Paul. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, skills. There, yeah. Not all episodes are serious. It is what it is. It is. Let's run a Paul
This
in the
one's not
comments
for the
down
children.
below.
But
Sorry,
also,
Mr.
that's what I
Johnson.
was saying about.
Oh, your father's also Mr. Johnson
From
Yeah.
Paul. Amazing.
We can
His
move
name
on
was Richard.
very quickly.
Even better.
We can
Dick,
move on very
Dick
quickly.
Johnson from Paul. Please tell me your father's name is Richard. Pastor Richard.
Worse, John Johnson.
Oh, the John
John
Johnson. Yes. We have a winner. Big John.
We need to take that out of the episode, please.
Hi there, Mr. Johnson.
But like what I was saying is part of accepting and the fact that, I'm doing something that no other colored woman in this country is doing, which is crazy and it feels so specific. Like when people have awards on their websites and it's the first colored man from Aldo's who
Yes.
drives a white car,
Yes.
has 2 children to go to ShopRite. You know what I mean? Like those specific
Yeah.
things, but that's how it feels for me. But it does make me feel better to go, I'm the only colored woman in the world who is doing stand-up comedy like this, who is living this kind of life, who's sustaining herself of jokes, which is an insane thing to do.
Mad.
And I can't even say the generation before me didn't have this level of freedom. Like, not even my mom. I'm talking my
Because we
older
are the
female.
generation
Yeah.
before you.
My
Older-
older female cousins, none of them have lived on their own without moving out with a husband. None
Yeah.
of them, and maybe that's a cultural thing from where I'm from, but it's super common. You don't leave the house as a
Yeah.
single lady and live by yourself. You don't do what you want in a big city like Johannesburg. So I need to constantly bring myself back to that perspective and be like, okay, cool, you're 30 and you're still taking Ubers, but yeah, it's not a taxi.
Yes.
Taking Ubers.
Yeah.
You taking Ubers. You live on your own.
Bro,
You've
and
won.
I'm living on my own and I'm doing this by myself and that's quiet in itself and it's hard to be like, that's just good enough. You know what I mean?
But that's
I'm
the
not,
perspective thing. Is the
and like staying away from social media because that will crush it so
Yeah.
quickly. Because then it's
Erodes
like,
it.
but also I'm looking at people and I know, and I'm not jealous or I don't have any feelings about this, but I know for a fact that the people I'm looking on social media, you guys have parents sustaining you. You have parents taking you overseas. You have parents paying for XYZ, whatever they are, they should be, I believe.
Yeah.
If your parents can't take care of you, they
Dala.
should until you're 50, doesn't
Whatever.
matter. But also, I'm not in the same WhatsApp group as you.
Yeah.
I'm not even on WhatsApp. I'm saying, please call me. That's who I am.
BBM.
I'm poking you on
The Lord
Facebook.
BBM.
So, like, I can't be, like, that's a perspective I constantly need to put myself in where I'm like, I can't compare myself to these people. I need to compare myself to what the people I aspire to be like one day, what they were doing. And, Mindy Kaling, she was in frat rooms with very disgusting boys. I'm like, I'm much better than her. I'm in my own room. And I made it
very
there to
disgusting
myself.
boys.
I put the disgusting in this room. not the other way around.
Yeah. Woman made.
That-
Woman in male dominated fields.
Sisters. It's like it's a very fascinating thing for me to understand that most South Africans don't understand the dynamic of where you come from. They don't understand the kind of preloaded barriers that are. And when I say preloaded barriers, it wasn't that you had different opportunities to everybody else, but there were different perceptions preloaded in your mind in terms of what was and wasn't possible for you, the type of household you came from, and then to be able to see you flourish and break those things has been fantastic. What were the main expectations that you had to change of yourself? Like, because I find that we put so much pressure on ourselves with this picture that's being created of what we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to act. What were some of the things that you think changed for you in terms of changing those expectations and perceptions of self?
I think something that was very difficult, and still I'm like working on it, but it's gotten a lot better. But failure is so difficult for me to deal with, and I read this thing where someone was like, you're not just getting rejected by a job where all your feelings come off. You get rejected when in primary school they didn't want to play with you. In high school you didn't get a rose on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Like, at university you failed. Like, all of these rejections happen at once. Every time I get a new rejection, I don't get a job, I don't get the writing opportunity, or my feedback is junk. All those rejections come back at once. And it's been such a massive work for me, because I don't understand why it's so difficult for me. Because you fail on stage all the time. Your joke flops, you move on.
Yeah.
You try a different way.
And everyone
you
fails. Dave
adapt.
Chappelle fails.
Bro,
Everyone
you can
fails.
see it. You move on and it's so swift. But like in my personal life, I can't handle it. And it's been so difficult for me to accept about myself. And also, I always wanted to just move past it. Okay, you failed now. You said, okay, let's wrap it up. Let's move on.
This bag.
Yes, but then
Ignore.
I carry that insecurity with me to the next thing because I didn't work it out. So the next time I go to a next gig, then I'm like, am I even good enough? Why did they hire me? Like, they didn't want me. Now they want me. They stupid. That kind of thinking. And I really had to take time with my failure. Oh, no.
No, it's fine.
I had to take time and sit in my
I
failure.
like that you failed, as you said.
Yeah, literally.
Take time, sit in.
Take time.
Oh, I sit and fail for a second.
Because you also strike me as the person that I saw a meme once of a guy that goes, I saw someone waving at me and then I waved back and I realized they weren't waving at me, they were waving at someone else. And a taxi stopped because my hand was up, and now this is a picture of me. The taxi took me to the airport, and this is a picture of me in a plane going to Germany to live my new life.
Because I just couldn't, I couldn't deal.
Yeah.
Couldn't
So you
admit.
strike me as that person that 5 years down the line, you're going to go, I can't believe, as I said failure, I hit the mic. Like, it's like that thing will live with you
Yeah.
for a long time.
And that's exactly the things I need to work on, to let it go and be like, Jason, Nicholas, these sound guys behind the scene who are working on the podcast, they care so little about anything else. Because I keep thinking to myself, the way I think about myself, the way I'm walking in Woolies, obsessed.
Everybody's watching you.
Yes, and I'm so absorbed. That's everyone else. Everyone else is also
Can you just
absorbed.
realize that not the whole world revolves around you? Like,
Bro,
there
that's
are
literally what I tell
other
myself
things
all the
happening.
time. You need to chill. Who is thinking about you like this? Like, I have to tell myself every day, your mommy thinks about you like this, and that's it.
And even she, not as much as you'd like.
Bro, she has grandchildren.
Yes.
She doesn't
Yeah.
even care
Even
anymore, bro.
not as much as you think.
Like, they'll video call me and my mom be like, my grandson doesn't want to talk anymore. Can he please leave? Like, you phoned me. You know what I mean? So even my mom doesn't think about me that much. So I can't go home and obsess over, the other day I went out to the Jewel and I had a glass of wine. And I was walking past the door and then my sleeve caught and I spilled the wine everywhere. For months I was thinking about that and all the people who saw me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way
No.
they even remember my face. And even if they do, that's hilarious.
Yes,
Yes.
it's a
To
funny
see
story.
that happen,
It's amazing.
it's so fun.
So what are
if
the
I-
chances your sleeve hooks on the
Bro. And it's just one of those, those billowing sleeve tops. I don't wear them anymore. I'm sleeveless until next year.
Till now. Till right now.
won't wear
I
sleeves.
fuck sleeves. Sleeves hold you back. Sleeves hold you
They
back.
literally pull you back,
Yeah.
bro, and spill your red wine everywhere.
Look, so society puts us under that pressure. And I think with social media, it's even worse that you feel like everybody's watching you. Like, I feel like the other day I posted something and then I misspelt a word in my post.
Idiot.
Fucking no, for real. For real. You have all the tools to make sure this doesn't happen. It would have taken 0.1 of a
Who's
second.
that soccer
just to
player,
proofread.
Haaland, like someone, because it's
Yeah.
his second language, obviously.
Yes.
English, whatever. And then he misspelled something, and then he posted again because everybody was on his case. And then he was like, "I'm so sorry, I'm not perfect English speaker."
So,
like,
this is my
I was
point.
So upset.
So I posted that thing, and literally as I pressing send, I'm reading the thing, and then it's like, and I got angry, until I realized, oh my God, nobody's seen this thing. Like there's something in my mind that for a long time was as soon as I press send, the whole world has watched
Bro.
it. Then I realized, oh no, 0 views.
Yeah.
Like nobody has seen it. And even if it had 50 views, so what? 50 people don't change.
So
Even
think
if it
about
had
how we.
100,000, it doesn't matter.
But I just
Yeah.
think about how I consume media and watch Instagram stories, bruh.
Yes.
I'm busy making something in the air fryer. I'm,
Yeah,
like I'm
you're not
busy
paying
doing
attention.
other things. I'm not even paying attention. I'm not going to remember Jason
No.
posted 6 weeks ago.
No.
He went to a farmer's market. He bought carrots and radishes. Why did he buy that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not.
Ooh,
Yeah,
look at Jason,
what is he making?
He's on here at
He's never
M-Fest, but he
eaten a
can't
radish
spell
in his life.
publicity.
I can PU. It's that self-consciousness kills us. The pressure we put on ourselves kills us. And I think a lot of it comes from we never break the kind of perception that a lot of us, where we come from, put on us in terms of what we should look like, what we should be
Homes
doing
of
with our lives,
perfection.
how we should be living it. And I'm really trying to write a very clear story for myself in my mind, just in terms of what I expect of me, and what is possible for me, what does a win look like for me, and rewriting it to anybody else's win. Like the thing I've been saying the most is I'm a very competitive person, but at the moment I'm only competing with me yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm only competing with that guy. If I can be a better version today, and even if it's by 0.00 whatever,
Yeah.
as long as I'm better than me yesterday, every day, little bit. Some days the same, some days you go back, but the goal has changed. I'm no longer looking at what other people are doing. I know what I want. As that moment happened, because for me I was 35 plus, where those moments started happening in my life, where I really started not just competing with people unnecessarily, started looking at what I wanted instead of this global picture of what I should be doing.
I went to therapy just once or twice. It didn't really help, but I mean, it was fun. Like,
Lies.
no,
No, don't make jokes now, because therapy is serious. Now you're making jokes about washing
no,
that
but it's just
therapy away.
because therapy is to help you deal with your circumstances. And for me, I was unhappy with my circumstances. Like, I went there because I was extremely happy with my career, my weight. I wasn't doing any writing. I was super overweight, and my love life was, because I was dating people on my confidence level.
Yes.
So everything was a mess. And then she was like, okay, you need to change your life. This isn't a therapy thing. You need to change your life. And I appreciate this so much, because she could have taken my money for months.
100%.
Yeah.
And just had a conversation. And I love to yap. So we would have had conversations every week, and she would have been getting 900 Rand, and she would have been fine with
Yeah.
that. But instead, she was honest, and she was like, okay, here's what you do. It seems so impossible, because at the time, I weigh so much. The money are so, I feel so intertwined with these junk men. And my career is going absolutely nowhere. And she's like, okay, cool. Do the smallest possible thing to get you to the next step. So, you can't clean your whole house, just go wash the dishes.
Start somewhere.
Just do and I know it sounds so corny and so old, but how you eat the elephant is
One bite at a
one
time.
bite at a time. And that applies to that's how I live my life now, competing with someone yesterday. What did I
Yes.
do yesterday? Oh, I cleaned. Okay, but what am I doing for writing? Okay, what am I doing for my physical? What am I doing? Those 3 areas of my life that
Yes.
I'm so focused on, and it's made me a much better person. Just living by that theory. In these past 2 years, I've progressed so much more than I ever have in since I was 21, I guess, because I was a bit stupid.
All
Bro.
21-year-olds are.
And
really
not
dumb.
it's just
It is what it
being
is.
young. It's not
You
a
just don't know
personal
yet.
choice.
You
yeah.
just
don't know
just
it.
don't know.
That's
You
the word.
just
Naive.
fidget
Like
off.
Adam.
Your son.
No.
No, not my son.
The
first.
Naive.
Okay,
first
okay,
man.
Like
first.
Adam naive. That's the
Oh,
the,
love.
the dumbness.
Sorry.
The
No,
dumbness.
that's
No,
I'm still young.
it didn't deserve it. That joke was shit. It
No,
deserved.
people on the internet are gonna laugh. Nah.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, no, it was purposefully.
Maybe if we spell it
That's-
properly, they will get it.
I'm not gonna lie. That last 3 minutes of you that's all I needed confirmation of. Is that what I'm seeing? Is that what I'm feeling? And at the same time, it excites me to think about the prospect of your life. It excites me that you're only 30. It
Yeah.
excites me that you've learned so many lessons at 30, because in our game, whether you are writing or whether you're on stage, I honestly believe you only get good after 20 years. Like, I only believe, like, you still learning. You know, like, I'm 13 years in comedy now. I feel like I'm in matric. I'm about to go to varsity. Like, that's how I feel. I don't feel like I know it at all yet.
I feel like a baby in this.
Yes, 100%. We still all
I
got
still feel like a baby.
so
in this
much
thing.
to, and that's a gift,
At least
because
a toddler, but
there are rugby players my age that have been retired for 10 years. So then I'm very grateful that these jokes don't need my knees to be
Yeah.
to be fun, to be
That's what you
good.
think now. The stage is high, my friend.
No, but even then, the beep beep, there's gonna be a crane, boy. Even then, there'll be machinery to lift me. So it makes me happy. We are gonna wrap up with very standard.
Can I just say before we start wrapping up that it's like, just to echo what Chase has been saying, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch your journey, and I really appreciate the relationship that we have and the time we get to spend together. Because I really dig you, and I said it to you before that you give me Kate energy. There's something about you that reminds me of Kate. And when I
is
look
such
at
a boss, bro.
the beast that she is, I go, yeah, like Jay says, you're only 30. You're a light.
Oh, I'm
you
jealous.
know nothing.
Now I'm jealous.
And
Every time people because you're not the only one, which is
Yeah.
crazy for me, that compares me to Kate Goliath, and it just blows my mind because she's such a beast, bruh. And she's doing it while raising 2 kids who are so lovely. And I'm just like, jeez, I'm doing this with no
No.
kids and dying.
so can I tell?
If you
can
ever
I
want to
just say-
feel shit about your life, just look at a day in Kate's life.
Bro.
Make you feel like you're
And
not
it's the
doing
smallest thing. The other day she posted fried chicken. It was the best fried chicken I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, what can't you do, lady?
yeah,
enough. Nothing.
And just to clarify, it's not a comparison. I'm not comparing you to Kate. I'm saying there are elements of your personality that remind me of Kate.
Big compliment.
And
Massive.
those are the elements that are going to make you the beast that you want to be. The fact that you've taken the steps now and made the changes that you've made to get to where you're going or where you want to go, that's the shit that blows my mind. That's exciting to watch. So, yeah, we can't wait.
I still think
We
you
are
robbed the
watching.
world of your face.
I did for a
and
long time.
We need to see more.
I'm trying to make up for it.
thank
Taking
you.
hella selfies, boy.
Boy! I'm my own paparazzi.
I'm in that mirror.
We wrap it up with the Goliath Happiness Index. Gratitude, acceptance, perspective. You rate them 1 to 5. 1 being it couldn't be worse. 5 being it couldn't be better. Where is Lindy Johnson when it comes to gratitude? 1 to 5.
Gosh, I think I'm a solid 3. Like, things could get a lot better, but also I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm very stagnant right now. I'm at a very stable place, which I'm super grateful for, because this whole year, most of the year, it's been on 1. So now I'm at 3, so I'm just happy to be at 3. If it goes high, it's fine. It can't go lower. I decided.
So you're fighting for 3 to be your 3-3-0 for you.
I'm
That's
staying
your
on
minimum.
3. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm fighting to stay on 0.
I'm going to remind you that you have won already. So I'm going to remind you that you must always remember, and I hope that this is what brings you gratitude, but you must always remember that, oh my God, there was a time that Gino Fernandez was the most important person in my life. There was a time that Gino was
Gino, sorry.
No,
Sorry, Gino.
shout out Gino. Shout out
We
Gino.
love and appreciate
Gino
Gino.
was Gino at some point was the most important to any comedian that came from Cape Town. But I say that because I find like we rob ourselves truths like that to create perspective. You know what I mean? Of the truth is, you were once a 21-year-old who needed desperately for Gino to like you.
Yes.
Now you're in a space where there's no comedian that can have any comment about you, your craft.
Oh yeah.
So you've won already, and may you continue to win.
Inshallah.
Acceptance 1 to 5.
Acceptance 1 to 5. 5. I am completely content with everything right now. I mean, obviously things could get better, but I feel like that's just the back of your mind. That constant.
That's just being a human.
But
yes,
also,
you need more money. You need
100%.
more, like that. But
Yeah.
all things considered, I'm on a 5. I've accepted. I'm grateful. I am ready to move on. I got a new project loaded, so I think that's what's making me so happy now, is because I have something new.
That's a bring a 5. A new project will bring a 5.
Yeah, you got me working for a whole month straight, and I don't have to think about anything. Lekker.
Let's go. Perspective.
Perspective.
And that's just it's the 5%, 95% rule. Life is 5% what happened, 95% how you react. Have you been able, how are you in terms of managing your reactions and changing your perspective 1 to 5?
I think I've gotten a lot better, but it could be better. It's definitely something I could work on, because like I said, failure is still something that knocks me off my feet. Shout out Luther. But like, I can't deal with failure, and it's really hard for me, but I've gotten so much better, and I really appreciate that about myself, that it's actually something I've worked on being better at. So I'm going to put myself on a 4.
4 is high. That's good.
4 is high. No, 4 is high. I think I deserve it because I put so much work into it. It's just that I'm so bad at it that I'm just at a normal people level now.
It gets
There's
easier
also
from 30.
nothing wrong with being upset with failure.
Bro, it's
Is it, like,
hard.
It's hard, but it's and I think Jonathan spoke about it in our industry. That's the sign of somebody who is great at what they do.
Somebody who cares.
Somebody who cares about what they do, is that you don't accept failure for yourself.
Yeah.
Which is
But
not
also,
a
like,
negative
No,
thing.
but also
I
this
need to see you got it, because that's the only thing that placates me, is I need to see you got it. If
No,
it
it
wasn't
doesn't
me,
matter.
no, it does. If it wasn't me, it can't be Pit Pompey's
You're gonna grow
song.
out. You're gonna grow out
Yeah.
of that, because you'll realize how many variables there are. You'll realize how many relationship driven decisions are made instead of talent driven
Yeah.
decisions.
Sometimes the casting is just
But that's
for
why I need to
the
rationalize
process.
No,
it.
but also I don't want to be part of a podcast that believes you should be happy with failure. I don't want to be part of a podcast that
That's your
believes
phone, eh?
that's Lindy's phone ringing.
Yeah.
We asked her.
It's more money
we asked her,
calling.
is it off? But I don't want to I don't want to be the guy that puts out a message.
Sorry, I was just laughing.
No, we
The
can't.
message?
No, I'm saying I don't want to be part of a thing that so for me, our message is not you must never be upset when you fail. You must never take it to heart when you fail. I don't think that's our message at all. I think what it is about making sure you're actually failing, because I think that we have this wrong perception of what
Yes.
we should be putting out, and then we take wins sometimes and make them look like failures because we're comparing to
Yeah.
other things. Like, that thing of comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I feel like we put that thing in, and then we have the wrong relationship with failure. So I go, yes, I fail all the time based on my expectations of me, and then I can deal with those in an emotional way if I have to, in whatever way. But we mustn't say that you can't. I think it's
But also, like, yeah.
No. But it's
also like the thing of counting something as a failure that wasn't a failure is something I do quite often. Like getting a job, that's not a failure. They
No.
didn't say, you're not getting this, Lindy Johnson, because you specifically.
No.
They were just like, we want Eric Jansen. That's who we want to go with.
100%.
And that's cool.
And also,
That's
if
got
you
nothing
and
to do
Eric
with
were auditioning for the same part, there are so many questions. There are so many questions.
So for me, the thing was,
Then
Hi, I'm
the
Lindy
coloured
Johnson.
gangster.
I'm reading for albino number 6. That's,
They're going to get me in makeup.
yeah. We're gonna fix it in post. Don't worry. We're gonna.
no. So for me, it's the failure when you feel like you failed, not when it's okay to feel like you failed.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Yeah.
not
No,
saying that-
100%. So I'm not an advocate where you must create the falseness. But I also, it's that same thing that Jono said about the 25-25. So he said I'm 2.5%. So he said in gratitude I'm
Everything is
5%.
5.
He said for everything I'm 5, but I'm 2.5 sad, 2.5 happy, and that's what makes me 5% gratitude. And I was like, I really like that, because
have the light
in
to
order to appreciate it, you must have the other side. And he's really leaning into life is not all about the roses, and there is beauty within the thorns.
Yeah.
There's, you know what I mean?
Because you know these cheesy sayings when you were younger and like they
That
send
were just
on WhatsApp.
words.
Yeah, you know those pictures your auntie sent on WhatsApp, but
With
they're
the eagle.
true.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. You
Yes.
can't appreciate the rain, like the
Come
sunshine
on.
without the rain.
Yeah.
You're so right, Auntie Paarl. Like,
Come on.
banger.
Shout out Auntie P. Shout out. Shout out.
Yeah.
Good morning to you.
In that same energy, please look into the middle camera, give us your name, and tell us why people should watch your episode of the Happiness Economy podcast.
Hello, my name is Lindy Johnson. You should watch my episode of the Happiness Economy because it's very lekker and we are super grateful. I'm so sorry. I was so late.
Yeah, no, that's the perfect one. It is very lekker. It is very lekker.
Just watch. Just
watch,
watch.
bro.
Just
come
watch.
through,
Because
watch
it's
the
really
podcast.
very lekker. And
It
we are
is.
grateful.
And we're sweethearts, man.
Yeah, we're darlings.
Yeah.
We really are.
Lindy Johnson,
Really are.
thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No.
I'm super grateful.
Thank you for your
I knew
vibes.
this was going to be good for my ego, though, because you guys are always lovely to me. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
you
you
I'm
are
doing
lovely.
Because you're
enough.
lovely.
I'm doing
Yeah,
enough.
no, but you've also hung out with us enough to know that we're not lovely to everybody.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's you
Sometimes me, but it's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're involved in the not loveliness to others.
Yes, you on our team.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the-
yeah. No,
Yes.
so please don't even
That-
come
yeah,
and try.
I can't
No,
separate
everyone takes
myself.
and fires shots.
You know, I was just carving. Because someone also did that to me. Lindy Goliath. And I'm like, now I need to lose weight. Fuck that.
Wow!
Fuck
Wow! Wow! Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
I'm Jason
Johnson.
Goliath, solely responsible for Lindy Johnson's weight loss journey. Thank you for
out.
watching. Bye bye.